Hey everybody, this is Debbie. Welcome to the Sane Progressive. And I'm starting to understand why the mainstream media is so messed up, because they have all these lights on them, and I think that's what they use to brainwash them to say the propaganda. It's like a small baseball stadium in here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so hello everyone. Everyone on Sane Progressive, one of the things that I get written most every single day is, we need an alternative platform. We need to get the hell off Facebook. You need a place outside of YouTube. We need a platform that isn't under the control of the corporate establishment, the political establishment, which is trying to censor our voice and tell us what to think instead of encouraging us to use our voices and counter the propaganda that they are perpetrating deliberately against us to keep us confined to the ways that they want us to behave. So, we have been puzzling to figure out what to do. And fortunately, Tatsu Akita, who, if you watch the Sane Progressive, you are aware of Tatsu. He is working on developing a platform, Vuwable, that will be a live streaming platform. I'm really excited about this because it retains our ability to have conversations. We can have a live chat. You guys can continue your conversations, which is so central to what we've been doing and the conversations that we have all been having. So thank you, Tatsu, for coming on. And if you could give the viewers an overview of what you're trying to do.
Right. So thank you for doing this and having me on here. And we designed Vuwable in such a way that we're going to try to maintain the right and the privilege and the ownership of our content, so that we're out of the confines of what we are living in now, right? So we do that through a number of technological means, but and also as a business, so that it empowers the content creators more so in a way that you're used to on typical mainstream social media platforms, right? And so Vuwable.io is an engine, a streaming engine that has the features that we are accustomed to, but even pushes it forward. A lot more convenience, a lot more ease of use in terms of even post-production capabilities, having interviews, conducting, I probably taught you and Claudia how to configure Skype and all these other bits and pieces on a laptop. It's pretty hard. And so it's going to be contained in one interface, and you'll be able to not only have your live stream on Vuwable.com, a sister website, but also back into YouTube, back into Facebook, and also on your own website, whatever.
Well, that's really, if you could explain that a little bit more, because I think that it gets into how people retain control of their own content rather than having it handed over to these secondhand third-party sites, rather, and then leave us open to censorship and the confines of whatever regulation and rules that they want to impose on people.
Right. Yeah, so that's a big problem. I thought a long time about it. How do we stay visible, outside of the bubble of social media? And so the only way to do that is to go forth into the rest of the internet and as many sites as possible. So this is exactly what that does. You can actually, through the magic of, programming, for lack of a better term, I don't want to get too tech heavy here, but we'll make it easy for yourself and for other content creators to just have either a static page, my website /live, or, a gallery of previous live streams or single live stream, kind of like you're used to embedding a YouTube video on other websites. We'll be able to do that live, right? So that's a very powerful thing, I think.
So is the content hosted on Vuwable, or is it hosted on your own individual website and run through Vuwable?
It's the latter, technically. Conceptually, it's both, because at the end of the stream, you'll be able to just take, a lot of the problem around censorship in a practical sense, or how these things manifest themselves as issues for us is like, you can't download your videos from YouTube. Like, you can download 5 a day or something like this. It's a ridiculous restriction, and so we don't have that. You'll have immediate access to your videos, and you can download them to your devices. And I strongly recommend for any content creator, whatever venue they're in or subject matter that they're engaged in, to have copies, physical copies, right? And so, yes, we talk a lot about the cloud, and you need that to scale up into, global audience if that's your goal. But you also need to have that copy, right? In case all the chips go down, you have that, you can rebuild. And so we're prepared. We're preparing you for that contingency, I would say.
Well, I think that's one of the questions that most people in the community are going to have, because we are in such an age of deliberate government restriction of any voice that counters the official propaganda narrative that is being dictated to us. How do you intend to make sure that your site remains viable and that it is not going to be is not going to go under with the means that they're going to try to employ to silence not just this site, but any site that counters what they control.
Right. So, imagine, if you would for a moment, everyone, that, again, how do we remain independent and visible, right? And visible, you have to have the ownership in your hands, and the ability to broadcast that out to whatever site we have left at our disposal. So this does give you that again. If things get extremely Orwellian, that in the way that we talk about offline, there are other options out there. They don't seem very palatable at the moment. We hope that we don't have to go there, but we do have the seeds, if you will, to plant elsewhere if we need to, right? So that's what I would say. Worst case scenario, in a scenario where the status quo stays relatively in the same amount of arbitrary restrictions, banning, shadowboxing, censorship, and the like, we strongly empower people who run their own websites to have live stream capabilities now. So, that I think that's a powerful tool, and so, and I know that Vuwable, the way I've conceptualized it with my partner Jacqueline, we've empowered you as far as we can do on our end. But there's some personal responsibility as content creators that we all need to place upon ourselves, right? We got to make sure, like, again, you have copies. You got to have a website. It's 2017 now, is it? I don't know. So
2018 almost.
2018. So do a website. If you can't do one, maybe I'm a little too busy, but we'll get you some.
Well, what about will there be people who are interested in using Vuwable who do not have their own website? Are you going to provide the capacity for a page that they can upload onto to house their videos, even if they do not have that separate website? Yeah.
So I would say that's the .com side of things. In .io, in the parlance and jargon of the tech industry, signifies a platform, right? A new kind of engine or an app. And the instantiation of live streams from a user account perspective would be .com. So think of, I'll give you an analogy. So WordPress, very popular blog engine platform. But you can go to .com, WordPress.com, open an account, and they give you an instance of WordPress, and it's just
you can make your own blog.
Debbie.wordpress.com, or for $10 extra or something like this.
You get fancier.
Fancy domain name, right?
So is it going to be the similar kind of thing, like similar, a WordPress kind of thing?
Yes.
So you can open like a Vuwable account and have your page? Like instead of a blog, it would be your video page?
Yep, saneprogressive.vuwable.com.
Simple.
And so that's the easiest way of getting in. And we hope that with some development that it'll be automatic upon signing up for .io.
Well, and ease of use is going to be a very, very big thing, because most people, if you're trying to use, what did you upload onto my computer?
Desktop streaming software.
That's very complicated. Even the basic stuff can be very, very complicated for people who are a little tech phobic, such as myself.
Right. Right.
So you think that this is going to be something that an average person who knows how to just navigate the basics of the web is going to be able to use?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, I've been getting feedback from a number of users, and my partner, Jacqueline. I'm an engineer and programmer and developer and other things, consultant, and so I'm used to workarounds. So I had to kind of put that mindset aside for this project.
Right. Well, I'm a great guinea pig.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly, Tatsu, I'm traumatized. My pictures are gone. I don't know where they went.
I remember this.
Yes.
And so I've had to make it, as easy as possible, and that's why we went through the process of prototyping the app and the platform, so that does this make sense? And it's like we walked you through it, and other people, and the response is positive. So,
right. So where are you at in the development of this platform? What are we looking at? A time frames? What are we looking at in terms of what you're going to be developing? And
right. So we worked on the prototype, and the prototyping is a relatively new way of starting an application, web application or mobile. And so it's all look and feel up front, as opposed to, say the ideation and back-end development. So the prototyping, we got a look and feel, we got a walkthrough, we got a navigation and user interface. And what we need to do now is to rapidly scale up on infrastructure, hosting costs, and back-end development costs. As JavaScript engineers, I would say, I'm going to get a little technical, development operations, product management, release cycle people. I mean, it goes on. And so we're looking at a pretty good sized team. It's probably, I won't, tell you this number of people right off the bat, but we want to roll this out fast, and because we do see and share, a very urgent threat of being shut down arbitrarily by, any player, one of these players.
They're already doing it. It's already happening. They already are taking YouTube channels down. They are already removing content from Facebook. It's not if, it's when, and the when is already now. It's just how quickly it's going to escalate. It is happening.
Right. And so with our full-time team, full-time, right? These are not volunteers. I've been through nonprofit organizations. It doesn't work. And, all, my love to them aside, that's just not a way to start a viable solution. Volunteers burn out. We're going to have a proper tech team, a proper organization. Yes, we're a real entity, and so it's going to be probably 6 to 8 months with about 6 to 8 people.
Okay,
and that's full time. So,
all right. Well, it's a big endeavor to make something that is going to be functional and actually viable to maintain.
Yep.
So I would imagine the big obstacle right now is cost.
It's considerable. So, but to be honest, I don't think people take upon them this type of endeavor unless they're like extremely braggadocious, let's say, and for a lack of kind words, full of themselves, but I did have the engineering chops, right? And so it was going to be this, or I was going to write a book on live streaming. I'm serious. I was going to write Live Streaming 101 for Dummies. And it was going to be the whole overview of like desktop streaming softwares, which cameras to buy, microphones, how to hook it all up together, post, and it was just like, no, that's not, that's.
No, make the product so that people can just simply use it. Right.
So I would say the other obstacle, of course, is finding talent and, development talent. And yeah, I'm just very fortunate to be in the right community of people who have the engineering skills.
So it sounds like you have the model. It sounds like you have the vision. Yep. So what we need to do,
and also management skills, right? So
management skills.
I'm luckily I went to business school. You have to do financials, you have to do accounting, managing the team. So it's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot.
So and making people like you happy. So our customers. That's
gonna be that's a tall order.
We're gonna do the best we can.
Way up there, but we'll see. But so this is, I wanted to have Tatsu on because everyone is constantly writing me about wanting another platform and something that's viable, someplace that we can go as a community and participate in and know that it's going to remain there. And so I think this is absolutely the most viable thing that I have seen in terms of what is being developed right now. There is no live, it really is astounding to me that in all of the other video platforms that we've seen developed, we have not seen this kind of a live streaming structure put forward, especially with it's really trying to target communities of people who are seeking to be an alternative voice in this political climate and in this news climate. So it really, to fund something like this individually, it would be a mountain, but it really only takes a very, very few dollars from people who are interested in having our capacity to have a community and a voice preserved. So it's just a few dollars and spreading these videos to other to your friends and your family on the other social media platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on your own sites while those are still remain viable.
Right. Yeah. Just think about it, folks. I mean, you have always supported people like Debbie in the past, and you've been there. There are not too many people like yourself who have the guts to get in front of camera, the voice, and I've sort of taken upon myself in my time to try to articulate the things that people should be talking about, should be thinking about. It's hard. And so in order to do that, you need resources. And I think this is an opportunity for you to voice your support for that. So we really appreciate it.
All right, guys. So if this sounds viable to you, sounds like something that you want to support, I will give you the links for, how are you doing the fundraising for this?
We're going to have an Indiegogo campaign. So
Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So an Indiegogo campaign. So I will give you the links for that. And I know, in all seriousness, everyone is very, very concerned about the level of censorship and not just censorship, but the spying and the manipulations that are going on. And so we really do need to develop some kind of alternative platforms. And this one seems like it's got a lot of possibility.
Cool.
All right, then.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. All right. As always, Debbie, this is Tatsu. Peace out.
Peace.